Alright, fellow hunters, time to take a look at the second episode of the day, which is Long Distance Phone Call. Long Distance Call, sorry. A nervous man is drinking in his living room and the phone rings. It has the caller ID of SHA33. He answers and tells the person at the other end, who he calls Linda, that she can't keep calling him. She begs him to come to her. He hangs up and she calls again, and he tells her to leave him alone before hanging up. She calls again, so he rips the phone out of the wall, but the phone rings again anyway. Finally, in despair, he pulls out a gun, puts it under his chin, and shoots. Dean is on the phone on a bench outside a university. Sam comes over and says the professor doesn't know crap. Dean tells him Bobby told him about a possible case in Ohio. Phone's going haywire, computers flipping on and off. Sam says they're already on a case, his. Dean says they're chasing their tails and he would like to do his job. He hates Sam's idea of summoning Ruby. It means to him she told him that she can't save him. Sam's upset over Dean keeping the secret, and Dean calls him out on who's been keeping secrets from who. Sam and Dean drive to Milan, Ohio, and talk to the wife of the man who shot himself. She tells him the phone was ripped from the wall, and Sam takes a look at the phone, getting the number. She admits she heard her husband talking to a Linda, but she listened in and there was no one on another end. In this week's Motel Room of the Week, with the decor of starbursts on the room divider and wallpaper and gold circles on the bedspread and curtains, they figure out that Linda died in a car accident with the man who shot himself. Sam found out the phone number was over 100 years old, so they visit the phone company. They're taken to the basement by Clark Adams, the manager, and meet Stewie Myers, a CD tech downloading porn on the internet. Dean tells the tech that the platinum membership at BustationBees.com is worth every penny. Sam asks him to trace the SHA33 number, and the tech does after Dean gets tough with him. He finds out that it's been used recently in 10 different houses in the past 2 weeks. Sam and a rental car pulls up to a house asking if they received any strange phone calls. The dad denies the calls, but the daughter acts suspicious. She goes outside to talk to Sam, and Sam turns on the sympathetic charm to get her to admit that she's been getting calls from her mother, who's been dead for 3 years. Dean calls and tells Sam that he met a woman who's been getting calls from her husband who died in Korea. After he hangs up, Dean gets a call and is shocked to find it is John Winchester. Dean tells Sam about the call and asks if when he should save the call back. If he calls back, Sam suggests hello, and Dean gets mad and leaves. He comes back later to find Sam hasn't had any luck on research. Dean shows him a pamphlet about Thomas Edison. They go to the museum and endure an annoying tour guide using quoting fingers in order to see Edison's spirit phone, which is supposedly used to communicate with the dead. Sam gives something on the EMF, and they ask why he would start working now. While Sam was sleeping, Dean gets another phone call from his dad. He asks Dean why he made the demon deal and has to wait for him to get out of it. He tells him the demon that holds the contract is there. Lainey, the girl Sam spoke to earlier, is on the computer and starts getting IMs from her mother. She says she wants to see her. The screen goes blank and the ghostly image of her mother appears in the monitor. Lainey turns the computer off, but "come to me" starts repeating over and over again on the monitor. Dean is on the computer, and Sam comes in telling Dean about Lainey. Dean shows Sam weather reports where electrical storms have been everywhere they have been over the last 2 weeks, and the demon is following them. Sam doesn't believe that, and questions exorcism Dean has that can kill a demon. He tells Dean he and Bobby already checked it out, and there's no proof it works. Dean says he's waiting on the next call from Dad to find out where to find the demon. Sam goes to leave, and Dean brains him for not wanting to help. Sam tells him they have no proof and he's going on blind faith, and begs him to go anywhere until he gets back. Sam talks to Lainey at her house. At the same time, her brother receives a phone call from their mother on his toy phone. Dean gets a call from John. Lainey tells Sam her mother wanted to talk to Lainey tells Sam her mother wanted her to take all her dad's sleeping pills and told her to come to her. Sam is and tells Lainey that's not her mother. Dean pulls up in front of a house and gets out his duffel bag. Sam tells Lainey not to use the phone or computer, but discover Lainey's brother is missing. Dean goes into a house, pours holy water, and paints a devil's trap. Lainey's brother walks into traffic and steps over a moving truck, and Sam yanks him away before he is hit. Sam calls Dean and tells him it's a crocoda. Dean mentions the flies at the phone company. Sam goes and confronts the tech in the basement, threatening to kill him. The boss, Clark, comes from behind and knocks Sam out with a baseball bat. He then knocks out the tech. Sam and the tech are tied up in the basement, and Clark has a dagger. He kills the tech and shows his spiky teeth, then sucks the essence out of him, devouring his soul. Sam figures out the Crocodile was on the phone with him impersonating Dean. Clark uses his power to call another guy, mimicking his dead daughter, who tells him the guy that killed her is at his house and is going to kill him. He then tells Sam how he found out on the information about them through old phone calls and emails while Sam was working on freeing himself. Sam works on freeing himself. He also says that people are fools, thinking that they can delete information. The other man comes to his house and shoots at Dean with a shotgun, and then they fight. Clark monologues some more, and Sam breaks free just before Clark goes to stab him. They fight. Dean and the other man crash through French doors, and the man lands atop of the devil's trap. Dean tries to read the exorcism, the prayer of St. Benedict Nursia, an old exorcism prayer that's no longer used by the Catholic Church. And the prayer is as followed: Croc sacra sit mihi lux, Andraco sit mihi dux, vade retro satana, numquam suade mihi vana, sunt malique libas, ipse venena bibas. I'm sorry, I mispronounced any of those things, so yeah. Enters the first line in the part of the second, but it's interrupted when the man walks through the trap, revealing he's not a demon. Sam and Clark fight over the knife, and Sam slams the back of Clark's head through a metal spike of the wall, killing him. Dean and the man finish the fight, and Dean tells him he didn't kill his daughter. The man asks him why he's there, and Dean says he doesn't know. Sam and Dean meet up at the motel, both looking beat up. Sam tells Dean he was sorry he wasn't dead, and Dean tells him he was right. He admits he wanted to believe it's so bad, and he's scared. He says it was the last act of a desperate man. He can't expect anyone to show up with miracles, and the only person that can get out of this is him. Sam replies, and me, and Dean teases him for such a lame answer. Sam asks if he wants a poem, and then Dean gets a bowl of beer and turns on the TV. So anyway, let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. Busty Asian Beauties makes another appearance, this time as BustyAsianBeauties.com. This episode shares its name with the Twilight Zone episode from March 31st, 1961. In the episode, a young boy named Billy communicates with his dead grandmother using a toy telephone that she gave him on his birthday. The overall episode number of both the Twilight Zone and Supernatural episodes is number 58. This episode also shares its name with a short story by Richard Matheson, author of I Am Legend, which appeared in a short story collection, Shock. In the story, a woman is called by her deceased husband when a telephone wire is blown down onto his grave. The story was made into Twilight Zone episode 1963, but was named Night Call as Long Distance Call had already been used. The episode shares its name with a Muddy Waters song. Sam tells Dean that he's going to see Lainey. Dean replies, "Oh yeah, great. You go hang out with Jailbait. Just watch out for Chris Hansen." Chris Hansen is a TV journalist from the show To Catch a Predator, which is a hidden camera investigative show that films the arrests of men caught soliciting sex from underage decoys online. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is billed as a special guest star for his voice role. When Dean asks Sam what he should say to John if John had come back from the dead, Sam nonchalantly suggested hello, much to Dean's frustration. Ironically, Sam finds this response annoying too when used on him and the third man. Being introduced by Clark to Stewie, it is revealed that Sam and Dean had used the aliases Mr. Campbell and Mr. Rainey. Bruce Campbell is best known for starring as Ash Williams' The Evil Dead franchise, created by Sam Raimi. So overall, I think this episode is actually kind of interesting, and yeah, it kind of would have been neat if it actually was John Winchester, but sadly it was not, so there you go. Yeah. So overall, I give Long Distance Call 3 Impalas out of 5. But anyway, tune in a bit as we take a look at the penultimate episode of the season. Time is on my side. So, until then, carry on, my wayward sons and daughters.